sharing best practices to communicate and present your analytics findings to stakeholders. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Catherine and I make videos about data science, analytics, and programming. When it comes to the job title data scientists, it's well acknowledged that they are tech-savvy people, mainly because data scientists apply various math and analytics techniques to derive insight out of data. So because of the high technical requirements of data scientists, we see plenty of books, online tutorials, videos, and coding boot camps that teach you different technical topics. However, rarely do people talk about data science soft skills, which from my own experience is just as important as technical skills, if not more. So in this video, I will share the most essential soft skill, and that is communicating and presenting your work to your stakeholders, leadership, and executives. Why do I label this as the most important one? Well, regardless of how good your technical skills are, if you are incapable of communicating with others, you cannot deliver the true value of your analytics. Now, first of all, let's see who are some different stakeholders that data scientists usually work with. Stakeholders for a data science team usually fall into 4 primary buckets. The first bucket is your customers. Especially for data scientists working in the consulting area, you and your team are likely to hold regular check-in meetings with your customers or clients to keep them updated on their analytics projects. So the intention is to get them involved in the governance and decision-making process. The second stakeholder group is the executive leadership in your organization. For a data science team, we need to ensure that our data analytics is aligning with the entire corporate strategy. The third stakeholder is our business operations partners. For example, the customer service teams. Usually they are not as tech-savvy, but they have very rich business expertise and domain knowledge. Basically, they have a pretty good idea about what aspects of the business that the data science team can make improvement on. The last stakeholder group is the IT and data architect teams, who also double as our partners. So data science teams work together with them to build the delivery pipelines that can empower the business decision-making process. Now, clearly, data scientists speak to various different teams of different backgrounds. So most often, we work in a cross-functional environment. And it's important that our communication and presentations are accommodated to translate analytics findings to everybody. And this actually provides a very good segue into our next section, and that is what the process looks like to prepare for our analytics presentations. First and foremost, even before starting my preparation, I make sure that I know my audience and the goal of this presentation. So to illustrate with one example, for technical people, it's okay to talk about terms and jargons or even the programming code. I actually found that sometimes it's necessary to do this so that they can get a better sense of what you are trying to achieve and how much they can contribute. However, for less tech-savvy people, talking about your methodology at a very high level is sufficient enough. As for the goals, for example, if my presentation is to communicate the analysis findings to the operations team, then I would make the results more actionable and also bring the business impact to the table. So the general rule of thumb is to emphasize the business values and also punctuate your analysis with data, but in a very concise way. That being said, I also prepare to explain certain technical concepts in plain English or in layman's term. To give you one example, once I got asked by a client, what is gradient descent algorithm? Because he has heard about it here and there, but had no idea what it is. So rather than throwing all the math at him, I told him to think of it as a strategy for climbing down a hill. So what should we do, right? Well, we start from a point and we pick a certain downward direction, and then we take small steps working down. And then when we get to a new point, we update our position and continue until we reach the bottom of the hill. And this bottom point is where our prediction layer reaches the minimum. So this intuition has proven to be very effective as my client finally understood this concept. And moving on, another helpful preparation tip is to send over your outlines prior to your meeting. It doesn't have to be something super fancy. All it requires is the bullet points regarding what you are going to present, along with the key conclusions and takeaways for your audience. And then the last preparation tip is from the technical perspective. So make sure that your code, prototype, or minimum viable product MVP is working properly. So we all know Murphy's Law very well, right? And it is particularly applicable in technical presentations. So think about it. How many times the analytics project you are about to demo just stop working out of blue? And this always happens right before your meetings, doesn't it? So having your code or MVP double-checked as an additional layer of security to a successful communication and presentation. And now, contrary to the customers or clients who reach out to data scientists with their tasks or problems already in mind, a special group of stakeholders for the data science team is the executive leaders. Because prior to any analytics projects, we need to get their buy-in to begin with. So what are some of the best practices in order to get buy-in on your data science projects, and specifically the best practices for communicating with and presenting to your executive leaders? So as the first step when pitching an analytics idea to the executives, we should take the initiative to identify what actually motivates them and how much our data analytics can impact their goals. For example, if the concern of your executive leaders is how to prevent credit card fraud, then building an image processing model probably would be out of their interest, regardless of how accurate it might be. And this means that as data scientists, we have to focus on bigger pictures of the entire organization in addition to technical nitty-gritty. Once we understand the whole puzzle, we would set clear project plans along with the execution pipelines. See, our goal is to develop a predictive model, which is the typical goal of a data science project. Then the next important factor is the business performance metrics, which oftentimes is different from the model evaluation metrics that we use to build the model itself. For example, instead of presenting your model accuracy or how low your model error rates are, I would summarize the potential financial savings or financial benefits this predictive model can bring to the table. So basically, these numbers are what motivate them to actually buy in. Again, the bottom line is to focus on what your executives care about. Then once we've made some progress during our model development process, I would showcase a working prototype. So depending on the specific project, it can be as simple as some visualizations summarizing your preliminary findings, or alternatively, it can be a baseline model with variable interpretations. Here, as a side note, I'd like to stress the importance of explainable machine learning, where as data scientists, we need to present the driving factors used by the algorithm from the business point of view, not just showing the black box algorithms that scare everyone. By presenting the driving factors, we would increase the likelihood of getting buy-in from the leadership. And then last but certainly not least, I make sure to frequently and consistently collect feedback or comments from my executives. Also make sure to manage their expectations because we don't want to overhype the data science projects. So we need to educate the executives that a data science project is more like an iterative experiment. It's not a one-time deal. And it's important that they understand nothing is perfect the first time around, and the data science journey is no exception. Basically, by keeping them in this loop will help build a culture of trust in the long run. And then as a bonus tip I'd like to share today is always put your backup materials, supporting documents, or technical details in the appendix, just in case that they are interested in learning more about the technical aspect of your model. Technical skills are uber important to be a good data scientist. However, to truly deliver maximum analytics values to our organizations, data scientists need to develop their soft skills like effective communication and presentation. Hope you get some inspiration out of this video, and if you do, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and see you in my next data science video very soon. Bye folks!